Hello, Sunnyside. The good Lord certainly knows how to get our attention, and He does a wonderful job of doing just that. There are a few things that I think I'd like for you to know. First of all, this is Women's History Month. Women's History Month. Did you know that Coretta Scott King received honorary doctorate degrees from more than 60 colleges and universities? She wrote a nationally syndicated newspaper column, and she also was the author of at least 3 books. She also served on countless organizations, and she was really dedicated to improving the quality of life for African Americans as well as other minorities as well. To find out more about Coretta Scott King, go to thekingcenter.org. Do know also that March of 2020 was the last time we had official services here at Sunnyside. The Women's History Board is still up in the foyer. It's almost as if it's a time machine. Over time, we have acknowledged different ladies here at Sunnyside during Women's History Month. I'm most proud to remember the time that we acknowledged our own Reverend Sister Kay Phillips. What happened was we had all women to stand. And as you realized that the thing that was being read was not you, you were encouraged to sit down. Kay was the last person standing. And at the end of the services, we went down to the fellowship hall and actually had a luncheon honoring her. She was just so actively involved and had such a beautiful voice. She was just really a treasure to behold here at Sunnyside. As it turned out, near the end of that same week, she had an injury that she was unable to overcome. And over a period of about 2 years, she eventually passed away. So the message is that we should acknowledge and give people their flowers while they can still smell them. Now, as I think about it, it made me look at a form that told when members of Sunnyside really joined. And the one person that has been a member of Sunnyside since the 1950s is our own Sister Deborah Lloyd. As I mentioned it to the pastor, he made me aware of the fact that Deborah was just taken to the hospital. So again, our prayers and good wishes go out for her recovery. But as you get a chance, please do just drop her a card or send her a note and let her know that we're thinking about her. At the same time, I didn't check with Cadet, but I do know that one of our oldest female members here at Sunnyside is Sister Annie Filliard. Now, I'm not going to tell you how old she is, but I know she is older than 100. And I really look forward to getting her warm hugs and kisses on Sunday morning. That's truly missed. So Sister Annie Filliard. Again, let's acknowledge people while they can really appreciate the acknowledgments. I put out a notice last time, since it was the last Sunday of Black History Month. And I said that there was this newspaper article that said, her and son's arrest sparked the Watts riots. This article was given to me by Brother Craig McGee, who is no longer with us. My uncle also told me that she, who was a member of Sunnyside Baptist Church, did not want to discuss it. So, since that's something she didn't want to talk about, My uncle, we just buried him this past week also, made me realize I'm not going to put her on blast. But if you want to know who this longtime member of Sunnyside was, just do know that there's an article in the LA Times from the year 2013. And the title is Her and Son's Arrest Sparks the Watts Riots. Okay, again, I'm not going to put her on blast, but just do know that she was a member of Sunnyside. And one of her really dearest friends was Sister Helen Bates. All right, Sister Bates. Okay. Let me know if there's someone at Sunnyside who you'd like for me to acknowledge during this Women's History Month. But at the same time, do give them a call. Please do let them know your positive thoughts about them at this time. Next week, I'm going to highlight someone or those who joined Sunnyside in the 1960s. At the same time, I do want to encourage you to write your own stories the way you want your story told. My neighbor, and I've mentioned Sister or Nurse Jackie before. Nurse Jackie came up with this thing, and I told her I would type it for her, but it's called, let me show you. Know someone who's a genuine LA superhero, a volunteer or neighbor making a difference deserves recognition. Help wanted. Know someone in LA who offers assistance. Chances are you do know someone. And if you do, take the time, write about that person and give it to them, or share it with City Beat, that is through the LA Times. I'm sure they'd appreciate it, okay? And as I finish typing this, I'm going to give this back to Nurse Jackie, but she honored me by saying that I was her superhero of a neighbor. All right. Okay. I've told you about the elections, okay? There was an election on March the 2nd. As of Tuesday night, Sidney Kamlager had 67.67% of the votes that were cast, with her really being in a lopsided lead. The only person that was near her or second to her was Daniel Lee, with just about 13.46% of the vote. None of the other candidates broke into the double digits. So if the results hold true, she will replace Holly Mitchell in the state Senate, District 30. And Holly Mitchell is now a member of the LA County Board of Supervisors. So I always mention to you about voting because I guess that's that part of Alabama that's in me. And as I looked at the news, there still is information about voter suppression. Right now, the states of Arizona has 22 bills, Georgia has 22 bills, Pennsylvania has 8 bills, New Hampshire has 10 bills, and they're considered some of 62 bills collectively to suppress the vote. Now, these 4 states alone represent about 1/4 of the 253 voter suppression bills being considered in some 43 states. Wednesday night, the House of Representatives passed the For the People Act, taking a major step to protecting the right to vote for everyone. It now has to be passed by the Senate. Now, the For the People Act, first of all, it destroys dark money groups. In other words, if you're really wealthy, You can pay to have bills literally written to protect your interests. The second thing, it ends Republican gerrymandering and voter suppression. The third thing, for the People Act, it ends undemocratic voter roll purges. Remember, that was one of the things. Don't count those votes. Don't count those votes. And another thing, it makes automatic voter registration the law of the land. What you need to realize then is that voter suppression is real. There is an effort, there really is an all-out effort to pass H.R. 1 there's an effort to restore the Voting Rights Act, I think of 64, 65, and also to pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. Again, being from Alabama, it's just really on my heart to make sure that you realize then all you have to do now is fill out a little form, turn it in. Postage is already covered. I thought about some things then, again, that were close to my heart. I decided I'd better bring it out and share it with you again. Jack Turner was lynched in Butler, Alabama in 1882 for organizing black voters in Choctaw County. The suggestion is, I will vote to show respect for his sacrifice. The last one I'm going to share today. After Calvin Mike voted in Calhoun County, Georgia in 1884, a white mob attacked and burned his home, lynching his elder mother and his two young daughters, Emma and Lily. Acknowledge his efforts, register and vote. Again, the forms are it's handled differently, but it still is a means of suppressing your vote. Okay, prove that it is something that's important. People have really lost their lives so that we might have that right. Tuesday, Channel 7 on ABC shows The Soul of a Nation. It comes on at 10/9 Central. That's a question my aunt had been asking me and I just couldn't quite remember. But again, Tuesday, Channel 7, 10 p.m. Soul of a Nation. The Pan-African Film Festival is still going on. It started February the 28th and it concludes March the 14th. That is the largest festival celebrating African American history in the nation. So just do be aware of that. I'd like to encourage you to have family discussions about the COVID-19 shots. Our son just really stayed on my case, on my husband's case. There is this song called It Never Rains in California. Oh, yes, it does. We were in line for our second COVID-19 shot when it really started raining. But we weren't deterred, and it was surprising to see so many people, 65 and older, who were determined, rain or shine, to get that shot. So again, have that discussion. Have that discussion. My son was so thrilled that he offered, not only did he offer, but he actually drove us out to downtown Disney to take my brother who celebrates his birthday every year down at downtown Disney. And we were just pleased to know that that was still open. Do wear your mask. I came across this poem, and it really would have been appropriate during Black History Month, but just listen to the tone of this poem. It is written by Paul Laurence Dunbar. It is called We Wear the Mask. We wear the mask that grins and lies. It hides our cheeks and shades our eyes. This debt we pay to human guile. With torn and bleeding hearts we smile, and mouth with myriad subtleties. Why should the world be overwise in counting all our tears and sighs? Nay, let them only see us while we wear the mask. We smile, but, O great Christ, our cries to thee from tortured souls arise. We sing, but oh, the clay is vile beneath our feet and long the mile. But let the world dream otherwise. We wear the mask. Again, Paul Laurence Dunbar. And I thought about this. We wear the mask because now we wear a physical mask that we put over our face for our safety. The mask, I believe, that Dunbar is referring to is the mask that the world had a chance to see during the time that COVID had us all quarantined, that mask. So just be aware. Now, please wear your physical mask. It is for your safety. Do wash your hands frequently with soap. Do be conscious of self-distancing. Whenever possible, please do stay at home. And while you're at home, think about someone whose day you just made lift just by giving them a call. God bless you. Thank you.